Hey, Sooner football fans. This is your Sooner football fans podcast. You got Terry and Rob here. Boomer Rob.
Boomer Terry.
And we are coming at you from the beautiful Podcast Palace in Norman, Oklahoma.
Where we are not affiliated with the University of Oklahoma.
But we do have eligibility left. And
still waiting on our letter?
Still waiting on the letter. Still waiting on that letter. We're celebrating the fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers won the division. And we'll be going into the wrong topic. Am I not supposed to talk about the Steelers and the fact that
nobody cares,
and the fact that Baker Mayfield fumbled twice within in the last 2 minutes of the game to lose it for the Browns?
Can't believe you went there.
No, I went there. Hey, I'm not the one who hates Baker like you. You're the one who thinks he's the third best.
Well, Jalen threw an interception late in the game the other day and lost it for the Philadelphia Smeagol's.
Yeah.
Well, they were getting beat anyway. But
well, I guess the three Oklahoma quarterbacks won the first week. They all debuted as starting quarterbacks at the same time. First time any school, I think, has ever had three at the same time.
Probably never will again.
And then all three of them lost this past weekend. But of all the teams I'm upset about, losing the Browns are not the one I'm upset about. So, moving forward, the Oklahoma Sooners are set to take on the Florida Gators, or a third of the Florida Gators, half the Florida Gators.
I hope they all quit and forfeit.
Make it easy.
Well, yeah. I mean, really, Terry, for the Sooners, it's a lose-lose.
Yeah, we're in if we win, blow them out.
Well, you beat a middle-of-the-pack SEC team that wasn't any good anyway, right?
Yeah, and half their guys were gone.
Right. And if we
happen
to lose,
oh my God,
you got beat by a middle-of-the-pack team, with
all their guys
SEC
gone.
With all their guys gone.
So, if you haven't heard, if you've been living under a rock on the last couple of days, the Florida Gators players are leaving the swamp like alligators being hunted by the rednecks. Is that what
get that butt beat?
Let's see. At this point in time, I'm looking at this from Matt Zenitz. Sorry. Is wait a second. Let me pull him up here on Twitter real quick. Okay, never mind. Let's see. He is a senior SEC football reporter for Aldo.com or AL.com. I thought it said AL.com. It says, oh my gosh. Let's see here. I'm looking at the thread. There are several two top receivers. Okay, Florida will be without at least 4 starters versus Oklahoma. The 4 players who are definitely out at this point, and this was 6 hours ago, and we were talking on Monday night. Star tight end Kyle Pitts, wide receivers Kadarius Toney and Trevin Grimes, and safety Sean Davis. So there's 4. Then an hour later, Matt Zenitz put source cornerback Marco Wilson is also expected to opt out of the game versus Oklahoma and enter the NFL draft.
Who was it?
Marco Wilson.
What position?
Cornerback.
So okay. I got a corner and a safety.
Right.
3 receivers and a tight end.
Right.
Wow.
And then just a short time later, Florida number 3 receiver Jacob Copeland has announced he has tested positive for COVID and won't play in the Cotton Bowl. It means that Florida will be without its top 4 pass catchers versus Oklahoma. So they have a top 5? What is it? Where's the top 5? And that's it. So they're missing a slew of guys coming into this game.
Well, hopefully we don't lose anymore outside of Trey Brown, right? He's the only one so far?
Yeah, he's the only one that's opted out. The COVID tests, apparently I saw a little bit ago, the athletic department has only had 1 positive test for this round, so it sounds like we're good. My understanding is the Florida Gators are due in Dallas tonight, and Oklahoma is due there tomorrow.
Okay.
So
are they busing or flying, do you think?
I don't know. I bet it'd be a safe safer bet to bus than to get down to the airport. Get on, you know what I mean? Just
well,
they don't
go to the terminal like everybody else. They land and they get off on the tarmac, I believe.
Or why don't they just have both teams sleep at Jerry's World? I mean, they could fit. It's big enough.
Is there a motel or hotel in there?
No, but you could. I mean, Jerry's got enough money. He could throw some beds out there.
Just throw some cots down.
Yeah, true. Cots. The man's got enough money. He can throw more than cots out there for him. That way, it'll ensure everybody doesn't go. You get to the game, you get to the Cotton Bowl, you stay there. Nobody leave. But yeah. So it is definitely a different look.
So the testing they went through today, that's the last set of tests. I mean, right?
Oh, I'm sure they're going to be tested again tomorrow and probably Wednesday morning and 20 minutes before the game and at halftime. And but we put out a Twitter question today, asked for some input because does it even feel like bowl season? Does it?
It really doesn't. Terry, I gotta be honest with you. It just doesn't feel. Nothing feels right, though, does it?
No, it's like we usually got a month before a bowl game, and you see the hype, and the teams get there, and it's like, wait a minute, they're already playing the Cotton Bowl.
It's just really going fast,
and it's on a Wednesday night. Yeah,
that's terrible.
Yeah, but I put a little Twitter question, asked for Twitter folks to. And our listeners to wait a minute before we get into that too. Doggone it, man! We need to put some congratulations out, Rob.
Oh, what did I do this time?
You didn't do anything.
Oh.
Not a doggone.
I still feel like I need to be congratulated, though.
We need to let everybody know. I put it out on Twitter. Need to let everybody know the winner of Toby's book. I'm going through all my stuff here. He is on Twitter as Senior OU of KC.
Mm-hmm. And so what you're saying is I didn't win, Terry?
No, you didn't win. Mark Rangel out of Kansas City, Missouri. If you've seen him at OU games, he also just happens to be, and it's just by coincidence. Happens to be a Steelers fan.
Mm-hmm. But, suspicious.
But you've seen him at OU games. He wears a big sombrero. He's kind of like our buddy Mr. OU Antonio, except the Spanish version. He has a big sombrero on. He's come to our tailgates before. But he won.
Well, congratulations, sir. I still feel like I should have won that, but Terry wouldn't let me enter.
So. But we will. He was nice enough. I told him I'd try to get it out last week, but we will be sending that book to him, the personally inscribed by the Toby Rowland, the voice of the Sooners himself, for him.
Should we go ahead and put an inscription there? That way it's worth some money.
Yeah, no, we don't want to devalue the book, Rob.
Yeah, my bad.
And prayers go out for T-Row.
Yep.
If you haven't heard, Toby will not be calling the game this Wednesday. Therefore, I'm very nervous, and T-Row knows how nervous I get about this stuff. Toby does. And if we lose, I got somebody to point to.
It'll be Plank's fault.
It'll either be his or Plank's. I'm not sure which.
Okay.
And this is what I don't understand, Toby. If you're listening, by chance, is been watching ESPN. They called baseball games in Korea for crying out loud from L.A. Why can't you call a game from your living room, buddy?
Probably doesn't feel like. I don't know how his voice is holding up or whatever. Of course, Toby's our favorite. He does a great job, and I'm sure that C. Plank will do really well as well.
Yeah, but I got to give him a hard time. Don't start taking the angel path here, Rob.
What are you talking about?
And that you're buddy. I'm not saying anything wrong about
T-Row,
Toby.
we are tight.
Not saying anything bad about T-Row. I'm just saying,
like when he comes into the coach's show. He waves at all of us, but I'm pretty sure he's only waving at me. He's like, all the other people are there, but what's up, Rob? That's the way I take it anyway.
Yeah, that's how you take it. But I'm just saying, Toby, I'm sure you don't feel well and so on, but, they called baseball games from L.A. that were being played in Korea. And Korea is like, in the past, aren't they, or are they in the future from us?
They're in the future.
Okay. I don't know how time zones work.
Yeah, they're about.
So if you're calling,
8 or 10 hours
if they're,
above us.
if they're calling a game at a night game, it's 10 a.m. here or something like that. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, it's morning there now. So
anyway, Toby, no, we're just giving you a hard time. Do well. Hope you feel better. And the Plankster, Chris Plank, will be doing the game.
Does that mean they're going to need some sideline help to fill in for Chris Plank?
We've been asking. Oh, that's a good point.
I mean, I'm available. That's all I'm saying.
Doggone, man, we should have.
Will work for free as well.
See, Rob, you got to be on. You got to hit me up sometimes. Boom. Hey, Chris, if you're listening, and you need help on the sidelines, since you're going to be calling the game,
that's right.
We are available. Now we won't do nearly as good a job as you.
No.
But
I think you and I should, go down there and help out.
But it would be probably more interesting than anything Chris ever put out there.
Well, he was talking today about his run in there with the Iowa State quarterback. What's his name?
If you wouldn't have asked me, I'd have told you.
Well, he kind of run into.
Starts with an F.
It does?
I think so. I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
He kind of run into Chris on the sidelines over there, and somebody said, "We seen you throw that elbow into him" or something. I thought it was hilarious. They were talking about it this morning. So yeah, you'd trip him, and I would jump on him. No, we wouldn't do that.
But if you again back on Toby's book though, if you since you didn't win, you still need to go order one and get you one of the Unhitch the Wagon t-shirts at www.unhitchthewagon.com. Cool t-shirts. Be like us and all the other cool kids. Get you an Unhitch the Wagon shirt and buy you online. They are available autographed. It's not personally inscribed, but it's autographed. Or you can buy them online at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. I believe it's the Homeland stores and Love stores have them available as well.
Or if you're really sneaky, you can sneak into Terry's house because he has one and just steal his. I'm just saying, you could do that.
And then, Rob, what we're going to do, the one I have is the one that we got to give away.
You got another one, don't you?
I gave that to my mom.
Oh,
remember?
Okay. All right. Well, you have to sneak into his mom's. She might get shot there, so I don't know.
You're liable to get shot.
I don't know about that.
But also, I want to give a shout out to the OU Club of Atlanta. We are helping them out a little bit. If you listened to last week's podcast, saw our tweets last week. These guys last year, 2019, gave out 11 scholarships to Sooners.
What a fantastic opportunity that is. That is just great.
And, of course, 2020, COVID has just killed
everybody.
Yeah, their donations and stuff. Their donations come off their watch parties. They have other things going on. So they reached out to us and asked us for a little bit of help, and we're, using our worldwide recognition to help them out. Those two people are tired of buying all the shirts, aren't they, Rob? But you can go to their website and order a shirt. Cool ATL for OU, so Georgia license plate. You can get a hat. Goes to a good cause. Check out our Twitter. I hate reading off the web address because it's ou-club-of-atlanta.squares.site/s/shop.
I'm going to have to take your word on that one, Gary.
But we'll be putting it out on Twitter. But again, help them out. They've asked for a little bit of help.
Sooners
they're not
helping Sooners.
They're not asking for anything, for free. If you want to make a donation, by all means, make a donation. It'll help them out. But throw out 20-something bucks, got you a nice shirt or a hat, and even if you're not from Atlanta, it's a cool looking shirt. Somebody told me that in New Jersey, they had a Booma Soonah shirt, BEOOMAH. SONAH. We have got to find us one of those shirts.
Why in New Jersey?
Because New Jersey, they talk. You've met Bill.
Oh.
You've heard how Bill talked.
Yeah. Yep.
South Jersey.
Jersey. Bill. You better watch your P's and Q's there, mister.
So, not saying that he has that Sopranos, twinge to his voice.
You think he's packing? He's got like the Glock right there and under the armpit. I mean, is that like?
If he's not, Yvette is.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with Yvette. Yeah, that's for sure.
So, but anyway, again, check out OU Club of Atlanta. Go order up some shirts, and we are going to try to work out a deal with going out to Atlanta maybe next year, if not before, doing a podcast out there and going to one of their watch parties.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Which is fun. You know what I was thinking about, Rob? What else is in Georgia?
Augusta National.
I wonder.
Does anybody have a connection?
If anybody from the OU Club of Atlanta.
Listen, I would just stand outside the fence and drool. I mean, I would, but that might have a way to sneak us on, get us on Augusta, something. That would be cool. We're just saying. We're not, Is it frowned upon if you lay down and kiss the green?
Or I wonder if we could just go on their, practice putting, chipping. We'd probably get kicked off because we'd put a divot in their chipping area. And
I just want to go in the clubhouse and, buy a hat and a ball and a,
pimento cheese sandwich.
Maybe.
You ever had a pimento cheese sandwich?
I have, but I wasn't overly fond of it. I mean, it'll do
what is a pimento, by the way, other than that little red thing that's stuck in the olive? What is a pimento?
I think that's what it is, but
is it a pepper? Is it a?
Yeah, let's go with that.
You just can't say I don't know what a pimento is, can you?
Well, I would not be a man if I did that.
Okay. So, anyway, again, check out OU Club of Atlanta, and now back to what we're going to talk about what the Sooner faithful have said about their thoughts on the OU. And here's what the question was: our Sooners are in the Cotton Bowl game this year. Are you disappointed we missed the playoffs? Excited we made a New Year's Six Bowl, or you don't care because it's 2020?
So this is a multiple choice question?
Yeah. And so drop your comments down for discussion. So we'll get to ours later on, but let's just see how some of these comments were out here. Sean Stapleton, one Cowboys forever. I'm guessing that's a Dallas Cowboy fan.
I hope it is.
Says, I am more disappointed in the back-to-back losses. Not a good look, and it was a bad year for an offensive-minded head coach. An even worse look. The offense had no consistency this year. I don't know if Lincoln will bring a national championship back to OU. That's a lot in one sentence.
Man.
But
now, let me ask you this. That's a Cowboys Forever guy?
Yep, Sean Stapleton.
Was it spelled and punctuated correctly? Because they'll let you know if it's a Dallas Cowboys or an Oklahoma State Cowboys fan.
It has. He's at the number one Cowboys forever, and so I don't know.
I'm just saying if there's bad punctuation and spelling,
then it's
OSU.
Well, everything is already
okay. But he's Dallas Cowboys in.
We're like him, I think. Disappointed in the back-to-back loss to kick off the season.
Sure, we were.
Wasn't a good look.
I mean, we are the epitome of unrealistic fans.
True.
We should win every game from now on.
Offense had no consistency this year. True or false? You agree with that?
I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. I think they had times where they were a little bit inconsistent, which is, I think, semi-normal, depending on what the defense is doing against you. Our offensive line, I think, did some struggling. But let's keep in mind, this is Spencer Rattler's first year. I mean, he's got to work it in. He's not going to come in like Kyler did, but Kyler was older.
Yeah,
Spencer's just going to have some more time, and I'm not really blaming Spencer because he played fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, we had some drops. We had he was running for his life a little bit. The running game might have been a little bit inconsistent from time to time, but. They were missing Ramondre for the first half, and then, it just takes a time for a unit to gel, and they were so off and on with who was in, who was out kind of deal. They didn't really gel, so I think we need to cut them a little break on that. But, as a fan, I'm disappointed that we didn't make it. I want to make it every year.
Yeah. I think the consistency, the no consistency, wasn't the offense as much as it was the offensive line, which affected everything.
Affects everything.
Which is, I think, what we are not accustomed to the last couple of years at Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to Larry Baxter. Larry has a long numbered @ sign on Twitter. But he says, it's good to have the year done. Hope we play well in the game. The national press expects us to get blown out, ... again. So I don't think that's going to happen in this game, whether or not they had half their team there or not.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Well, they're good. Florida's good, no doubt about that. I mean, it's a good offense. They put up 8 on Alabama, which is the best defense in the country. Am I right? So, I mean, the offense is good. The quarterback Flack or what's his name? Flank?
Yeah.
He's no joke.
No.
He's good. Is that his name? Flank? No.
Rob, you have to ask me these questions when I don't have other stuff pulled up.
Flask. No. Something like that. Starts with an F, I believe.
Okay. We will get to it later
Frank.
on.
You know, sooner Lisa right now is going, oh, my God.
And so is Hype Man Harry.
Yeah.
Hype Man Harry will send me a DM and tell me who we missed out on. So thanks,
right.
Harry, in advance. I'm Wordna Search.
Oh.
is the name, but it's at Andy C. Wright. So I don't understand. Oh, I get it. Wordna Search is Chris Andrews backwards. See how I got that? I got that pretty quick.
Okay.
They're excited for the matchup. Didn't have playoff expectations, and we're going to get into that a little bit further, so let's not hit on that. Still not convinced this game will happen due to contact tracing. You may be right.
Way to be Debbie Downer there.
Yeah. So, CB Ritter on Twitter is at BMRSNR4, Boomer Sooner 4, BMRSNR4. Glad we didn't make the playoffs because we need a year off from it because we had such a young team. Also, our offensive line is up to par this season. We've touched on that. Good points. Soonerborn 59. It says, really surprised we made it this far by the way the season started. I also heard from a reliable source that that didn't think OU was going to be very good this year due to missing players and youth. Watch out for OU in 2021.
That's right.
That's what we keep saying. Better watch out for us next year.
Well, we did say it last year. There's no doubt about that. But we really thought we were going to have better O-line play.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to put it all on the line, but,
there's a lot of
I
it.
guess we got to put it somewhere, don't we?
Yeah. Let's see. Kelly Palmer said on Twitter, I'm thankful we're able to watch them play and win another Big 12 championship. Beating Florida will be icing on the cake. I agree with both those. Back to back. That's 6.
Right.
Championships. Homer Hensey on Twitter. The only reason I'm disappointed with no college football bid is that 2 ACT went in. This is going to be the end around to sending 2 SEC teams from now on. Mark this date. Yeah. Homer said it first.
Yep.
Let's go fry some gators.
He's probably right.
Yeah.
They got to make changes, Terry. I don't want to change the subject, but man, they've got to see this as a big mistake year, and they've got to make some changes.
Yeah. Excited to be Ryan Captain Marvel is at Captain. Captain is spelled Captum. Captain Marvel. Excited to be playing in this game. We weren't a playoff level team this year. Let's get a win and hit the offseason strong. Good point. What do you think about that?
I agree a little bit, but I disagree a little bit. I think we showed, like the game they played against Oklahoma State, man, I'm telling you, that night we could have played with anybody. But, the game we played against Baylor was not that, right?
Yeah.
And obviously the games we played against Iowa State and Kansas State were not that. So, I mean, the potential, I think, is there, Terry, for us to be really good, especially with the defense that we have this year. Hopefully we don't lose those guys, but if we do, hopefully somebody, we're just plugging in people and not rebuilding.
Well, see, here, I'm glad you said it. I'm going to jump down to some, and we'll go back because Gonzo Strangelove on Twitter. We follow him. He's a great follower, listener to the podcast. Made a great point, and we had a little conversation about it, and it'll probably bounce on these, but we're going to share other people's thoughts. Gonzo Strangelove said, unpopular opinion, but I'm not disappointed we did not make the playoffs. Very pleased we got to a New Year's Six Bowl. I think that's appropriate for where OU is as a team this year. For what was adding up to be a rebuilding year, OU overachieved. We fans should be proud of that. Now, before we get into that, I responded back. Unpopular question back. Why are we considering this a rebuilding year? I'm asking because why hasn't Bama and Clemson, et cetera, had a rebuilding year? Okay, why is Oklahoma in a rebuilding year? Why are all these other programs not going through a rebuilding year? Now, we went on to have, more of a conversation, but I wanted to throw that out there. We're not Bama and Clemson. We know that. We're not Notre Dame. We're maybe not even Ohio State level. But why is that? We're Oklahoma, for crying out loud. We should be. We shouldn't have rebuilding years. You might have a down year to where things just didn't go your way. But remember, back in the day, we used to talk about, it's hard to win a national championship. Okay.
Well, not according to Bama and Clemson.
Yeah. Now it's becoming a common theme for some schools. Oklahoma is a team that is in the picture every year. Okay. But why as a fan, and I'm asking this to folks, and y'all can kick it around out there, but topic for discussion. I don't like rebuilding years. I don't think Oklahoma should have rebuilding years. A rebuilding year is a time when you change a coach and a coaching staff.
Yeah.
You rebuild. You've got to fit some pieces in.
I'd be surprised. Oh, I'm sorry.
We've been building this team since Bob left. It's been 4 years now. What are we rebuilding? He's already rebuilt it. He's got his players in. Why, as fans, should we consider this a rebuilding year and be happy with it? Because I ain't. No, go ahead,
I'm
Rob.
surprised that somebody hasn't said some of it has got to do with the conference that we're playing in.
You think so?
Well, yeah.
I agree with it.
Yeah, all the big defensive players, they want to go to the SEC.
Yeah.
Period. End of story. And it shows.
Yeah.
Well, besides one Clemson's getting, I guess. But I mean, that's a fact. They're all going. They're all going to the SEC. Most of those SEC teams have had better defenses than us year in and year out.
Right.
And it's just because they all want to play down there.
Yeah. Well, and look what Clemson has done with Brett Venables.
Yeah.
I mean, we all wanted this guy gone, and he's gone, and he's got the best defense year in and year out.
Oh, for sure.
Because Dabo lets him do what he wants, keeps his nose out of the defense. And he's high paid. He ain't interested in going anywhere. We could still have that guy here now if we'd have left him alone and let him run the defense he wanted.
Would you take him back now?
Yes. Would you?
Well, I mean, I think Grinch is doing a pretty good job.
Okay. Grinch is an up and coming, granted, but you could get Brent Venables back, the best defensive coach in college football, without a doubt. You wouldn't take him back.
I don't know. It's 50-50. Because I'm kind of liking what Grinch is doing. I got to be honest with you.
Oh, I like what he's doing too, but I'm just saying.
I think Grinch is the next Venables. How about that?
There you go.
I mean, literally, Terry, last year, what were we ranked?
Oh, well,
was it dead last?
Pretty much, yeah.
And we're in the top 10 or at least the top 20, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty fair trade, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
So I like what Grinch is doing. I think, maybe next year we could be, top 5 defense. And if that's the case, we're going to win a lot of football games. If the offense catches up, we're going to win a national title.
So all the changes that have gone through Alabama, including offensive and defensive coordinators, they've never had an off year. Oklahoma changes a defensive coordinator, and we got to wait 3 more years before we're any good.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, typically, we've been to the playoff several years in a row, so you can't really say we've been rebuilding, can you?
No, I don't. Yeah.
I mean, we went to the college playoff with one of the worst defenses ever to play on the field. Am I right?
True.
So, I mean, we had a couple of weak spots there on the defense. I mean, pretty much point to all of them, I think. Except for the ones that went pro.
Yeah.
K9
Yeah.
obviously was a fantastic player.
Let's go back to some of the comments on Twitter. Jeremy A. at Sooner1 Tex. I'm not disappointed we missed the playoffs. I think it could have been different had the MIA players at the beginning of the year. It's still fun to be in the Cotton Bowl. It's one of the classic, and it's going to be and it's against a very good opponent. I agree. I mean, it's a good game. It's not.
Yeah. We're not playing Boise State.
Wallace, our buddy Wallace Marsh, looking forward to see where we are. Florida's very salty and the best team we have played all year, and without a doubt, I think they're the best team we've played.
And they're getting awfully lippy too, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Overconfident much?
Yeah. Big Jim, okay in Fort Worth, Jim Dillingham. I'm glad it's in prime time on Wednesday night. Though just hope we get to play the doggone game. All these opt-outs, that's a whole nother story. I know it's a New Year's Six bowl, but it really bugs me it's not on New Year's. I don't like this Wednesday. I don't like any college football game on Wednesday night.
Yeah. I don't either.
Backwoods Barefooter on Twitter, at Barefooter MFL is his sign. Don't care because it's 2020 and Florida is out a bunch. So if we win, it don't really matter.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with that too. It's kind of like,
I still want to win though.
Lee Woods, because Lee Woods, 1817, at Lee Woods, 1870. Glad we made it 6 in a row in a New Year's Six, especially after 2 losses. Next year is our year. OU FT ball says, plus it's prime time with no other games being played. That's a good, as long as we win.
We get a lot of eyes on us, right? We get those recruits watching us. And
Nathan Mangrum, I'm happy right where we are.
Okay.
Terry Jones, OKC TJ, I'm excited for the game. Great to win the Big 12 after the start. A win could propel them even to greater things next year, which I do expect.
Me too.
Shafi Park Sooner at Lone Guy 78 says, always want the Sooners to have a shot at a natty. I don't think that a good win in the Cotton Bowl will be. I do think that a good win in the Cotton Bowl will be momentum heading into the off season.
Yep, I'm right there with him. I want to play for it every year, even if I don't, even if we don't deserve to be there, I want to still be there. I mean, I'm a fan, right? I want to be there.
Ann Parker, Sadie O'Grady 1, is I'm relieved we're not in the top 4. So she disagrees with you.
Well, Sadie, I want to play every year.
Yeah.
In the national championship.
Keith on Twitter at PPLPRSO, People Person 1 is what it means. I'm just a little pissed we're playing a diminished Gator team. We needed them at full strength. Now we're even a no-win, even if we win situation, just like what we already talked about. We agree with you, Keith.
Yep.
Joe, I didn't not. Ask me again in the middle of the second quarter when Lincoln Riley takes his foot off the gas for a reason nobody knows.
Man, he has got to stop doing that.
Well, so Joe, we're kind of in agreement with that.
He needs to get mean like King Switzer. Listen, if we got 50 on you by second quarter, guess what? That means we're going to put 100 on you by third.
Yeah. Tara Portillo at Rabid Sooner.
Makes good cookies, by the way.
Wonderful cookies. And good, her husband makes some of the best skirt steak.
Oh man, that was good. Yes.
Forget about her cookies. Whew. Jose's steaks.
It was good. Amazing. I would take that steak. Sorry, Tara, but I would take that steak over them cookies any day.
She says, we aren't on the level of Clemson, Bama, or Ohio State right now. We would have another big loss, I'm afraid, so I'm glad to play a highly ranked school in a prestigious bowl game this year. It ain't the Cheez-It Bowl. So she gets that little snag at her Okie Stank friends.
Tara got the claws out.
But Tara, again, we ask, why are we not at the level? It's been 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't you feel like though that we're right there? I mean, we're close. We're just didn't get over the hump.
Just a bit outside.
Yeah.
Terry Ruck. Disappointed, not devastated. Always want to be in the biggest games. I'm still excited anytime our Sooners play. So, Amanda Hill Sims, we will be watching and cheering for the Sooners. And Larry Nidman, he put out the tickets for this game suck. So, I guess they're expensive, or
I'm sure,
or they're upper deck, or.
Well, yeah, since they're half, the ticket prices have skyrocketed.
Yeah, for half the deal. And I'm sorry, I ain't sitting in the top of the Empire State Building to watch a football game anybody's playing. So, Spidey Sheldon Perez says, "Go Sooners! I'm happy we won the Big 12 after being 0-2 in conference play."
Yeah, I mean that was a great comeback. I think the team got better and. I think they're just going to keep on getting better.
Yeah. Some guy, his on Twitter @_Mountain Dew_. I certainly care less than usual, but I still care a great deal, and I'm very excited for the game. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, it ain't. Like Tara said, it's not the Cheez-It Bowl.
That's for sure.
Duke.Woodson. I'm happy to be playing Florida in the Cotton Bowl. Stony Army vet, Brad, our buddy. Excited to play in the New Year's Six Bowl, the goal I had from them because I knew we weren't up to getting in the playoffs. Sooner man, I'm disappointed. I'm not disappointed at all. Kind of nice playing someone that's not a champion, not a championship team for once. OU needs this for next year. And Denise is at peace. I wish college football playoff, but we're happy we get to play. Let's go stomp the mud hole in them Gators, baby.
By the way, the bus just drove one into the trees.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
But some interesting, comments. What are we watching? Is this really live, or where are they at? It's dark out outside.
It can't be live, so unless they're playing in the Philippines or something.
Well, they might be.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
Now, this is that college challenge thing we were watching last week, isn't it? Don't they have some college players?
This is different guys, but Jerome Bettis is on there.
Yeah.
So.
You know what's weird? He's walking down the fairway like that right now. That's what he looked like when he played.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he wasn't pretty when he played. He was just a big old bowling ball.
Yeah.
And he's talking to people about something. I don't know what it is, but boy, he's...
I don't recognize those guys, so I don't know who that is.
But interesting comments and takes, on the game. What's going to be going on Wednesday night. The Gator football team has arrived 55 minutes ago at the Cotton Bowl. Boys, they're opening up the bottom of the bus for guys to get their bags out, and there's like little bitty bags in there. Not many. It's like empty.
So I'm surprised nobody's throwing out scores yet. Are you ready to give a score?
Let's see. Is there something else we want to talk? Oh yeah, let's wait to give out scores.
Okay.
We needed to talk about the Texas Longhorns for a moment. You want to talk about the Texas Longhorns?
Talk bad about them or talk about talk.
Sam Ehlinger is fixing to match a record set by Drew Brees on the first snap of the Alamo Bowl.
Oldest player to play in college? No, that couldn't be right.
It's pretty close.
Nah, some of them BYU guys are like 27
Yeah,
years.
true.
So, yeah.
He will tie Drew Brees in appearances in the Alamo Bowl.
Way to go, Sam. Way to go, Texas.
Yeah, Texas. Literally, this is on Longhorns Wire USA Today, Rob. I found it on, I don't know why, I just come across it. When the game finally gets underway between Texas Longhorns and the Colorado Buffaloes on Tuesday night, Sam Ehlinger will make Valero Alamo Bowl history. Once Ehlinger takes the first snap from Jake Majors on Tuesday night, he will become the second quarterback in bowl history to take snaps in 2 different Alamo Bowl games.
2 different.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Here, listen to this. The next line literally says, any time that you can be named in the same breath as Breeze, it's quite an accomplishment for any player. They are just now saying
they got to be proud of something, don't they?
Yeah, the Longhorns Wire is saying, hey, Sam Ehlinger has played in 2 Alamo Bowls as starting quarterback. The only other quarterback to do that is Drew Brees. He's as good as Drew Brees.
Oh, boy.
His name will be mentioned along with Drew Brees and Alamo Bowl lore.
Well, he's College Football Hall of Fame material, isn't he?
God.
Come on.
I mean, it's quite an accomplishment, isn't it, for any player to have a record that matches Drew Brees, even if it's playing in 2 Alamo Bowls?
Yeah. So circle back around. You say you don't want to be in the rebuilding year like we are. Well, we could be back-to-back Alamo Bowls.
We can be in the Alamo Bowl, baby.
The Holiday Hoobie Wuddy Bowl, the Cheez-It Bowl.
Yeah. So, who's this fixing to hit the ball?
I don't know.
He's a tall boy, that's for sure.
He's got an awkward swing, too. Not a bad shot.
Well, he don't know how to put a backspin on it, so he's like us, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Not intentionally, anyway.
Yeah, hit it up there and just let it roll and hope that it doesn't roll too far. So that's our little dig at the Longhorns for today. They'll be playing.
It's almost sad, right?
It is.
But still, we're not going to stop. I mean,
no. But
want to make fun of the OSU Cowboys?
They're playing in the Cheez-It Bowl. Like I said, if they do not get a lifetime supply of Cheez-It for playing in the Cheez-It Bowl, it's not worth it.
Do they get to pick their flavor? Because some of them cheeses are pretty good.
Yeah. Oh man, have you had the Ritz double cheddar crisp?
No, I don't think so.
Man, they put Cheez-Its to shame.
Oh, is that right? Oh, yeah.
That's a pretty good looking shot here too.
You may have to try those then, because I really like Cheez-Its, especially the extra.
Ooh.
Almost
Almost went in.
The extra cheesy ones are pretty good. They also have a Buffalo Wild Wing flavor.
They do?
Yep. It's pretty good.
Cheez-Its has a Buffalo Wild Wing now?
Yep.
So if I go to Buffalo Wild Wings right now, I can order Cheez-It
I doubt it. But you can go to Walmart and buy Buffalo Wild Wing Cheez-Its. I don't think you can go to Buffalo Wild Wings and order Cheez-Its. But, I mean, you might be able to. I don't know.
I was just thinking I could get Cheez-It flavored wings.
I doubt it.
That'd be different, wouldn't it?
That would be different.
They'll figure out some way to infuse a flavor in again. So, what? Anything else you want to talk about, or we want to get into predictions?
Let's go ahead and do predictions. I don't have anything.
I'm going to stick with what I had. I don't think it's going to make any difference who's playing, who's not. They may not score as much, but I had Oklahoma, 48.
Hey, by the way, it's Kyle Trask. It just came to me.
So
Sooner Lisa's probably still yelling it. So I heard you. Got it. Kyle Trask.
So
what I call him?
I'm just going to freaking Google it real quick.
I can't even remember what I called him now. But I'm pretty sure it's Kyle Trask.
And as you guys can tell, we do not study up on this stuff. It's all by hip, all off the hip,
Yeah, it's probably not.
Yeah. We don't have a I have the internet pulled up, and you are right. It is Kyle Trask. Trask. But I'm going through here.
I'm pretty sure that Sooner Lisa and
Hype Man
Harry were still yelling it.
Yeah.
So I heard you guys.
Yeah, it's Kyle Trask.
Kyle Trask.
But basically, I had it Oklahoma 42.
42.
I think we're going to score between 35 and 42, and we're going to hold them 28-35. That's what I was figuring before. We should win the game by 42-35.
Okay.
Give or take. I will be happy with a 7-0 win or a 3-2 win.
Okay.
So, how about you? What are your...
Man, I'm not that confident, Terry.
Really?
I don't think we're going to score that many points on them, to be honest with you.
Well, the SEC, their defenses have been giving up points this year.
I know. It's hard to say in a game like this how that's going to go because they're going to be playing with so much emotion. I think both teams will be. I'm thinking more like 27-24.
Do you think with everybody opting out at this point in time, the Florida Gators don't give it 2 reps?
Well, let's hope.
Yeah.
Because really, I think Trask may be one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
And he could cut us up pretty bad if he's got people that can catch the ball. And they could wind up scoring 38 or 40 on us fairly easily. And really, I think they got a pretty good defensive line. So if they get us on the run and shut our run game down, man, it could go bad for us. You know how we sometimes come out Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yeah. Hopefully Mr. Hyde shows up, not Dr. Jekyll. So.
Well, and before we go to, let's just kind of touch base on the history matchup between the Oklahoma Sooners and the Florida Gators. This comes from Winsipedia.com.
Winsipedia, that's
where you can get rankings, teams, and comparisons online. Who leads the series, Rob?
I'm gonna have to go with Florida
because we talked about it before. You couldn't even. Yeah, Florida leads the series. I just thought for sure we'd played Florida more than once, but we only played them one time. So the longest winning streak is how many?
One.
Hey, largest margin of victory.
You're throwing some tough ones out at me.
Yeah, right? Largest margin of victory.
Oh man,
there's only one game, Rob.
I know. What was the score? 28-7, 28 to.
No, it was better than that.
Was it?
Yeah, it was 24-14.
24-14.
Yeah, we left 3 touchdowns on the 1 yard line that day.
Oh yeah, we did. We let old Tim Tebow run that little fake jump thing on us.
Well, and that play. Nobody's going to bring it up, but remember who was missing last time we played Florida?
Yeah, DeMarco
Murray. And so was the linebacker. I got it. He passed away a couple of years ago. Oh my gosh! I just was just looking at stuff on him.
Listen, if we have DeMarco Murray, that's a game. He was a game changer.
Yeah, but okay. Let's see. Who has the best all-time record? Oklahoma or Florida?
Oklahoma.
Okay. What are we ranked all-time in record?
3rd.
6th.
Dang it.
Of 131. 7.26. What is Florida? Just a guess.
17.
Pretty good, Rob. 18th. Bowl games. Who's appeared in more bowl games? Oklahoma or Alabama or Florida?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. How many bowl games have we appeared in, Rob?
56.
53.
That's what I do, Terry. That's how I do.
How many bowl games has Florida appeared in?
38.
45. And they're ranked 14th. Who has more consensus All-Americans, Oklahoma or Florida?
Oklahoma.
How many does Oklahoma have?
32.
Consensus All-Americans?
Oh, consensus All-Americans? 75.
82. Oh. How many does Florida have?
12.
32.
Oh.
Oklahoma ranks 4th at all-time consensus All-American. Florida ranks 20th. First round draft picks. NFL draft picks. Who has more, Oklahoma or Florida?
Oklahoma.
Nope, Florida. Florida has 54. Oklahoma has 49.
Man.
They are ranked 6th, and Oklahoma is ranked 7th.
Okay.
All-time wins. Who has the most all-time wins?
Oklahoma.
Okay. What are we ranked in all-time wins?
3rd.
6th. What is Florida ranked?
17th.
19th. Pretty close, Rob. How many all-time wins does Oklahoma have? How many wins does Oklahoma have all-time?
756.
916. How many all-time wins does how many wins does Florida have?
812.
743. Who has more Heisman winners, Oklahoma or Florida?
Oklahoma.
How many does Oklahoma have?
7.
How many does Florida have?
3.
Good job, Rob. Who ranks number one? Who ranks number one in Heisman winners? Who has the most Heisman winners?
Army.
Oklahoma.
I thought Army had one more than we did.
No.
Okay.
Florida ranks 5th.
Who's second?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm comparing these two
Okay.
teams.
All right.
Who has the most weeks in the AP poll?
Oklahoma.
Correct. What rank are we in weeks in AP poll?
What rank?
Yeah. Where are we ranked in as who?
6th.
3rd.
Dang it! I was gonna say 3rd, and I was gonna go. No, he's gonna go 6th.
How many weeks have we been in the AP poll?
712.
860. How many weeks has Florida been in the AP poll?
382.
633.
Oh, they're lying.
Conference championships. Who's had the most, Oklahoma or Florida?
Well, I guess you're talking about
their own conferences.
all the way.
Yeah. History of conferences.
Let's see, how many conference championships do we got? 52.
Close. We have 50. Is that more than Florida or
Yes,
less?
that's more.
That's more.
Florida.
Where is Oklahoma ranked in conference championships out of all the teams?
number 1?
Number 1. We have more than any other person. How many does Florida have? Conference championships?
17.
8. Bowl record. Who has the better bowl record, Oklahoma or Florida?
Well, our record of late has not really helped us out in that regard, but I'm still going to say Oklahoma.
Oklahoma by 1.
Ooh.
We are 24th in bowl wins, and they are 25th.
Gonna be 2 this year.
Oklahoma has 29 wins, 23 losses, and 1 tie. Florida has 25 wins and 20 losses and no ties. Total NFL draft picks. The other was first round.
First round.
Total NFL draft picks. Who has more, Oklahoma or Florida?
Oklahoma.
You are correct, sir. 397. Florida has had 356. Who has been at the AP poll, at the number 1 spot of the AP poll more, Oklahoma or Florida?
Oklahoma.
How many weeks have we been at the top of the AP poll?
512.
101. How many weeks has Florida been the number 1 team?
17.
41. National championships. Who has the most, Oklahoma or Florida?
Oklahoma.
How many do we have?
7.
How many does Florida have?
3.
Good job, Rob.
We did this a minute ago.
Did we? Did I do the national championships?
Yeah.
No, I didn't do national championships.
Pretty sure you did.
No, for sure didn't. I skipped one for one reason. I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
I may have. Hey, I'm getting old.
It's all right. I got it.
So
right
that's
both
the
times.
matchup, the all-time matchup between Oklahoma and Florida. Oklahoma's never won a game against Florida, so hopefully
Until this year.
So I'm picking Oklahoma 42-35. No, 42-30. That's my score.
42-30.
Yeah.
If you're going to hold me down to a score, Man. Whew. I'm gonna say Oklahoma 35. That's more than I think they're gonna score though. And I'm gonna say Florida 31.
35-31?
35-31.
So you think it's going to be that close?
I think it's going to be close.
Well, see, we're about the same. You're acting like I was making some out of the...
I don't think we're going to score 35. I really don't. I think it's going to be more like 28.
Well...
But...
Okay, over under that the game is played Wednesday. Do you think it's going to be played?
Yes.
This Wednesday?
Yep.
You don't think it's going to have to be postponed due to COVID?
Because there's a whole lot of people spending a whole lot of money to get this game played. I'm sure they're going to be pushing it.
Well, there is a contingency plan in that if they can't play it, they'll play it later. But you think they're going to get the game in Wednesday night?
I do.
Would you be mad if they didn't?
Yes.
Yeah, well, you know, Sooners are going to win. I got confidence. You know, the Alabama Clemson rebuilding, that's up for another discussion on one of our regular podcasts, and we'll have some fans on this upcoming year, and we're going to hit on that and have some former Sooners on, some other folks. But you know,
man,
we'll
Terry,
talk
I'd
about
really
that.
like for us to hold them to like 7 points and go, man, what happened to those SEC defenses? You know?
Yeah. But that's the podcast, guys. We appreciate you listening in. Make sure to like or follow us, and go check out Toby's book and help out the OU Club of Atlanta. We'll see you next week after the Sooners win. Boomer up.
Remember, Terry.